Hello guys and welcome back to the second episode of Battlefleet Gothic Armada. The first one I hope gave you a little taster and got you excited. We're going to go straight back in and continue where we left off. And hopefully this one will be a little bit more exciting and we will get an idea of what we're actually doing.
The Gothic sector is beginning to turn
watch that. Okay, yes, right. So it's going to force us to start here, I think.
Your first assignment is to put an end to the unrest and rebellion threatening a nearby system.
Okay. So the reward, we're going to get rewards. It looks like different rewards for different missions. So we want to be victorious to get our 50 credits. I'm assuming that is, or renown. That's renown. We don't want to lose. 30% of the cost of the destroyed enemy ships. 15% of the cost of heavily damaged enemy ships. Okay. Intel. Set up an ambush for a seditious ship. The enemy is composed of Imperial ships. Okay, so that must mean we're evenly matched. I'd like to use someone other than the Imperials.
This interface helps you prepare your fleet for the next mission. At the head of every fleet is the flagship. You must select one of your vessels as the flagship for each assignment. Choose your Dauntless Light Cruiser as the flagship for this first operation. You have another captain assigned to your command. This captain commands a Dauntless Light Cruiser and will assist you for the duration of the mission. Add his ship to your fleet. Smaller ships of the escort class can provide fire support or scout for the enemy. The Firestorm frigates are a good choice for this assignment. Once your fleet is prepared to engage the enemy, you should set course for the target system at once.
Okay, so we're going obviously there's going to be some strategy involved in figuring out the correct ships to deploy. My normal approach would be deploy the biggest, baddest ship possible and then whatever else to make up the points limit. But I'm guessing that's not going to work.
Admiral, the fleet has reached the last known position of the heretic ships. Their sedition must not stand. How shall we deploy our flagship?
So we've got this green deployment zone here that seems to go all the way along. Right, these are, by the looks of it, obstacles. I'm not exactly sure. That's some kind of city. Okay. Yes, we can deploy them anywhere that's green. So I guess the question really becomes, we don't want to deploy in the middle of the map. If we deploy in the middle of the map, I kind of feel like we'd get ambushed from two sides. So we either want to deploy up at the top here or at the bottom down there. I think we're going to deploy right up the top here, in the top left hand corner. Golly, this is big. Let's just do that. Yeah, I think we're going to deploy here, so... Oh. Really? I don't want... Oh, fine.
Now you must select how you wish to deploy remaining ships of the line. Now that your cruisers are deployed, you must next determine where to place the Firestorm escort vessels. Your new promotion has placed you in command of the entire fleet, Admiral. That means you can order your captains to adopt engagement modes during the battle. These engagement modes define how your captains act in battle. You can change the engagement modes at any time.
Admiral, the Firestorm escort ships have powerful prow weapons. I would advise setting these ships to a frontal attack. A good understanding of each ship's weapons is the best way to know which engagement mode to use.
Okay. Well, I guess this is still like a tutorial kind of level to show us the rest of the stuff, so that's good, I suppose.
The macro cannons on our ships are most effective when fired at short range.
Ah, okay, so that's right, okay.
Now that we've deployed the fleet, it is time to root out these rebellious traitors.
That makes a lot of sense. Engage sides, frontal, broadside, auto-engage, we're not going to be using that much. Hold fire, focusing target, okay. Let's just carry on and
All
see
ships coordinate
what
your
happens.
movements. We will advance as one group at the same speed. We will set course for a gas cloud and use it to ambush the rebel ships. Once our ships enter the gas cloud, it should mask our fleet's emissions.
Orders
That makes
received!
a lot of sense. So we're really going to have to use the terrain to our advantage, and we've got a mission countdown timer, so we can't take forever. That is also good to know. And even the detail on these little ships is fantastic. Look at that. They have stayed so faithful to the models. That is brilliant. I could look at these. Look at that. That's just beautiful. I love this. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Let's just move like this a little bit. Let's see what's what.
At your command!
So you have a light double macro turret, and you have a light prow lance. So this is like a fast hit
Awaiting
run ship.
orders!
Light macro battery, light double macro turret, heavy prow lance.
The gas cloud conceals our fleet, sir. We're invisible to the enemy ships.
Excellent. The trap is set.
Torpedo launcher.
Now we wait for our prey.
Sir, I've detected an enemy vessel.
Okay,
Shall I
this is
engage?
where the different weapons
Wait until
are.
you have identified your target, Captain.
I have a probe ready to launch, Admiral. That ought to tell us what we're looking at.
Very well, Captain.
So,
Launch the probe.
select this ship.
Your orders?
Okay. Right, okay. So lightning strike has teleportation when each squad onto an enemy ship. Okay, no. Boarding is okay. Torpedoes, melter torpedoes. Okay. We'll learn.
Choose
these
where you
keys
want the
as we
probe to go. The probe will identify any nearby signals.
Hopefully this doesn't give away our position. Oh, I love the detail here, how it actually flies out from the ship. That is brilliant.
All readings are confirmed. That ship belongs to the traitorous rebels.
Now that we have identified the ship, our weapons cogitators can automatically target the enemy vessel.
All ships, attack the enemy vessel.
Target locked in! Ship ready!
So, Admiral Spire, did Ravensburg send you
torpedoes,
to
baby.
bring us to heel? There are other powers in the galaxy besides the Imperium, Admiral. They can reward you for your
Can't do
skill
anything interesting.
and your
Can't
devotion.
do anything interesting.
Yes,
So it looks like this
Admiral.
is the only ship that can really do a lot in terms of extra weaponry.
Awaiting orders!
Oh, you screwed.
The enemy's void shields are down. Sir, I suggest that we concentrate fire on their plasma generator. Targeting the plasma generator drains the ship's power. They'll have difficulty using their warp engines.
Oh, okay, so we can focus on certain systems.
Critical damage to the enemy ship, sir. Their
Okay.
void shield capacitors are destroyed.
Your orders?
Oh, you only press that button when you're in line. Okay, I get it. That was a waste. Okay, so we've got to line up before we shoot torpedoes. That does make a lot of sense.
Your orders?
We need to back off.
Changing course.
Way too much damage.
Targeting enemy vessel. At your command. Underway.
Admiral, this is a battle we cannot win. I'm taking my ship out of this mess.
Admiral, he is activating his warp engines and preparing to disengage from the battlefield.
This cowardice cannot be tolerated! Admiral, we must put an end to this pitiful display and make an example of this craven fool!
Admiral Spire, this is Lieutenant Krath. We've executed the captain and taken back control of the ship.
Well done, Krath. You've been promoted to captain. Follow my orders and we'll get through this.
As you command, Admiral.
Yes, Admiral.
This doesn't go as well as I expected. Let's focus on the weapons.
Awaiting orders. Execute high-energy turn. At your command. Acquiring new vector.
There we go. Still taking a battering though. Maybe if we focus on the engines.
Yes, Admiral.
So this is not as one-sided as I expected. I literally expected us
The enemy ship has activated its warp
decimate
engines and is attempting to disengage.
I have a strike team of Navy armsmen ready to sabotage the enemy's
Done that
warp
again.
engines. We must act quickly and use the ship's teleportarium to launch the attack. Ship ready.
Fool! Your faith in the Emperor is as false as your courage!
Silence this heresy. Fire all weapons.
At your command.
Can't believe I messed up with the missiles again.
Awaiting orders.
That was awful.
Yes, Admiral.
We should keep our distance from the enemy ship, sir. It will soon explode.
Okay.
Bulkheads collapsing, sir.
All ships. You fought with valor this day.
Crap,
And proven
I didn't
yourselves
get it out
worthy
there
of
in
the
time.
Imperial Navy.
This is going to be a lot harder than I expected.
Set course to leave the system. I must report our victory to Lord Admiral
We get
Ravensburg.
that ship back because it was first level. Otherwise, may have to restart right now before we go any further. Okay, so they've got to level up. A little bit concerned about that. If we've lost that ship, then it's
You've
definitely a
exceeded
restart.
my expectations, Admiral. However, other seditious forces are making themselves known in the Gothic sector. I would like you to meet Fabricator Cambrius. He is in charge of the Adeptus Mechanicus shipyards at Port Moore.
Admiral, you and your fleet can repair and upgrade your vessels at Port Moore. By the Omnissiah, my tech priests stand ready to assist you. Your current rank allows you access to the most common classes of vessel. As you grow in renown throughout the Gothic sector, larger classifications of ships will become available.
That makes sense.
Follow me, Admiral Spire. I wish to show you the sacred shipyards of Port Moore.
Okay. If you insist. You've unlocked a new cruiser slot. You've won an additional deployment per turn.
Port Moore is the largest and most sophisticated harbour in the Segmentum. Here, you can see what services are available to you at your current rank, experience, and renown. There are several shipyards in operation at Port Moore. Follow me, Admiral, and I will lead you to the docking bay. It is time to show you what my shipyard can provide to meet the needs of your fleet.
Okay then.
This panel displays the statistics of an individual vessel. Using this interface, you can see your ship's standard characteristics. The weapons of your ship are also displayed here. Pay close attention to the weapons information displayed here in order to better understand your ship's capabilities. This panel displays the general attributes of your ship. Select the Crew Management panel to see more. Admiral, this is the crew of your ship. Every vessel has a particular captain and a specific set of crew. By focusing your attention on an individual crew member, the crew can improve their skills and benefit your ship in many different ways. The captain of this ship has earned a promotion. This grants you access to better quality crew. You should start by improving the skills of your navigator. He will then be better able to guide your ship through the tides of the warp.
Right. So we've got a crew-based
In addition,
system.
reconditioning will reset your crew abilities. Now, take a look at the ship's upgrades. You can install a new module on the light cruiser.
Okay.
Different systems on each ship can be improved with modules and upgrades. Such systems include engines, decks, and weaponry. These improvements are acquired by gaining renown during your missions. I have set aside an additional void shield for your ship. You can install it now to improve the ship's shield rating.
This is going to take a couple of playthroughs, I think, just to get one sort of muddle through. Probably make a lot of mistakes, maybe not manage to complete it, and then on the second one, with a better idea of what we're doing, we might be able to actually go through and do it in one run. It kind of seems like you need to have a lot of knowledge about the ships, the upgrades, how everything works together. Okay. So,
well done,
that's
Admiral.
going to cost us renown.
Now, try installing a tech module on your ship. The modules you can install improve different aspects of the ship. These aspects include defense, damage, control, support, recon, and maneuver. The number of modules that can be installed is limited by the ship's tonnage.
That
now,
makes sense.
install the Shield Overload module. This will boost your shield's effectiveness for a short time during battle.
Impenetrable shields for 10 seconds. That could be very helpful.
I must return to my communion with the machine spirits. Admiral, you should return to the sector map for your next assignment.
Okay, and we didn't lose the ship. That is very good. Right, okay. I think in between episodes
The sector's High Strategic Council has met at Port Moore. The Council has a plan to secure the Gothic sector against these invaders, and you play a key role, Admiral. I will contact you soon to brief you on your next assignment.
Right. I think between episodes I'm going to need to go and do a lot of research about these different ships, the weapons, skills, and everything else, just to get a bit of an idea for what we should actually be aiming for. And let's just end our turn.
Our supply lines are being raided by Orc pirates. Several reports indicate that the Greenskins are harassing our forces, keeping them off balance. Admiral Spire, your orders are to escort an important Imperial convoy of equipment and food to Bladen. This world is suffering from the predations of the pirates, and millions will starve if these supplies don't reach their destination.
Okay, on the next video we are not going to press the end turn button until the actual next episode, because that's not going to help me though, or is that? Right, no, on the next episode we will wait before ending the turn, because that seems to move you straight on to the next mission with all the little talky bit. So we shall try that and see how it works out. Starting to get a little bit more of a feel for the game, I think. I'm loving the look of the customization options and the possibilities this has. I can see a lot of replay value and a lot of very deep strategies when we get into online and multiplayer play. If anyone has any tips, tricks, hints, if I'm doing anything wrong, just bang it in the comments. I will make sure to read them all. As always, thank you guys, and I shall look forward to seeing you again.